Welcome to Finance Deep Dive. We're always told we have to work until we're 65, right? Well, today we're talking about a movement that's flipping that idea on its head, a strategy helping people retire in their 30s and 40s. It's called FIRE, and we're going to break it all down.
So let me ask you this. What if your money could work for you? I mean, really work for you, so that you didn't have to. Imagine your investments, your assets, they're the ones paying the bills. You're not tied to a job for the next 40 years. That's the dream, right? Well, that's the core promise of the whole FIRE movement.
Okay, so what does FIRE even stand for? It's financial independence, retire early. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a lifestyle strategy, really, all about building up enough wealth so you can live entirely off your investments. The end goal? Ditching that 9-to-5 grind, not in your 60s, but decades ahead of schedule. This whole idea really got its legs from a book called Your Money or Your Life. And the core concept is, well, it's a total mind shift. It asks you to think about every single dollar you spend, not as money, but as life energy. Think about that for a second. That $5 coffee you grab every morning, that's not just $5. That's what, maybe 15 minutes of your life you traded to earn it? And you can never get that time back. It's a powerful way to look at things, isn't it? All right, so how do we actually pull this off? It sounds great in theory, but what's the secret? Well, it's not some complicated Wall Street magic. It's actually shockingly simple math. And at the heart of it all is one single thing: your savings rate. Seriously, this one number is your superpower on this journey. Most financial advisors will tell you, hey, save about 15% of your income, and that's fine. But if you do that, you're basically signing up for the standard 40, maybe even 50-year career. That's the path most people are on. But what if you just completely flip that script? What if, instead of 15%, you manage to save a massive 70% of your income? Suddenly, that 50-year marathon turns into an 8.5-year sprint. It's not just a little faster. It's the difference between walking to your destination and strapping yourself to a rocket ship. It's a total game changer.
So what's the target? What's the finish line? In the FIRE community, it's called your FIRE number. And the way you find it is with something called the Rule of 25. It's super simple. Just take your annual living expenses, everything you spend in a year, and multiply that by 25. Boom. That's the amount of money you need invested.
Let's make this real. Say you can live comfortably on $40,000 a year. Your FIRE number? $1 million. Need a bit more? Say $100,000 a year? Then you're shooting for $2.5 million. You can see the pattern here, right? The simple, unavoidable truth is this: the less you spend, the smaller your target is, and the faster you're going to hit it. Okay, now it's really important to get this. FIRE isn't some super strict one-size-fits-all cult. Not at all. It's more like a spectrum with a bunch of different styles that you can actually tailor to your own life and what you really want. So that really begs the question, right? If you were to go down this road, what would your journey actually look like? Are you the kind of person who'd go all in, super extreme? Or would something a little more moderate make sense for you? Let's look at the two extremes. On one end of the spectrum, you've got what's called lean FIRE. These are the hardcore minimalists living on a super tight budget. We're talking under $40K a year. Then, on the complete opposite end, you have fat FIRE. These folks are aiming for a seriously luxurious retirement, spending over $100K a year. And of course, there are a ton of flavors in between. You might hear about barista FIRE. That's where you've saved enough that you only need a part-time gig, maybe just for the health insurance. Or there's Coast FIRE, which is a really cool one. You save super aggressively for the first decade of your career, and then you stop. You just let that money compound on its own while you cover your day-to-day costs. Hey, just a quick pause. If you're finding this explainer helpful and it's getting you thinking, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps us keep making more content like this. Thanks a bunch. Okay, so far this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But let's get real for a minute. We have to talk about the other side of the coin. Retiring decades ahead of schedule isn't a walk in the park. It comes with its own unique set of challenges and risks that you absolutely, positively have to be ready for. I mean, think about it. If you retire at 35, you could be looking at a 50, maybe even a 60-year retirement. That is a long time to make your money last. Unlike traditional retirement, your margin for error is razor thin. And this brings us to one of the biggest dangers for early retirees. It's called sequence of returns risk. It sounds technical, but it's simple. Imagine you retire, and boom, the market tanks in your first couple of years. You're forced to sell your investments at rock-bottom prices just to live, and that can catastrophically damage your portfolio's ability to ever bounce back.
And then there's the big one, healthcare. It's so easy to forget about this when you have a job that provides benefits. But once you're on your own, you're out in the private market where health insurance can easily cost 2, 3, or even more times what you're used to. It's a massive, and I mean massive, expense that a lot of people just don't budget for properly.
But the challenges aren't all about the money. For a lot of us, our job is more than just a paycheck. It's part of our identity. It gives us a routine, a social circle. When you suddenly lose all of that, it can be a real shock to the system. You can end up feeling, well, a bit isolated, maybe even aimless.
So, after hearing all those risks, you might be thinking, why would anyone do this? And that's fair. But it's because the ultimate point isn't just about not working anymore. The real prize here, the true goal, it's something way bigger than just escaping the office.
Look, the end game isn't just about quitting your job so you can sit on a beach sipping margaritas, though, hey, you could totally do that if you want. The real reward for achieving financial independence is something way more profound than just having more free time. What it really gives you is ultimate life flexibility. It's freedom. The freedom to travel, to learn a new skill, to spend real time with your family. The freedom to do work you love, not work you have to do. It's about owning your time, truly and completely.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. If money was no object and all of your time was completely your own, what would you choose to dedicate your life's energy to?
Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive into the FIRE movement. If you got something out of it, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next explainer. We'll see you then.